It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it comes your way next.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes, the Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here in the Steel City, I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined by my partner, Charles Davis. And Charles, it doesn't matter what year it is, who the players are, they're wearing the black and gold. It is never an easy assignment to come in and win here in Pittsburgh on this field.
And this team always takes on the identity of this city. They're going to be tough physically, but they're also going to be tough mentally. Just 3 head coaches in 54 years. They've established their program. They know who they are. Good luck coming in and trying to take one from the Steelers.
Meanwhile, for the Browns, they come off a 7-10 season a year ago. Not great, but not a total loss either. And you think there are building blocks in place?
They are there. Look at what they did last year. Their pass defense was number 5 in the league. Their rushing attack, 6th best in the league. They have players. They have a system. They just need to put it all together.
The kicker, Chris Boswell, has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And he makes it so difficult for all defenses because when he's got the ball, it's hard to say when a play is truly over because he can create from any spot on the field and in any situation, even when it appears that he's contained. When he's running your offense, a big play could arrive from any possible spot.
Now the NFL's 3rd leading rusher last year, it's Nick Chubb, powering his way forward and past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 22 and a first down. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercises before this one, and they're paying off.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. But Deshaun Watson, when you think about the toughest quarterbacks in the league to game plan against, he's got to be in your top 5, does he not?
And when you talk about game planning, putting him in the top 5, that's an easy call because he can make every throw. That's not an issue at all. He has great touch delivering the football. But that mobility, that added dimension, when he escapes the pocket and those receivers find their way open, short, medium, and long, he finds the right guy. And last but not least, his toughness. He can stand in the pocket, take a hit, and deliver.
2 carries for him now on the opening drive, both for good yardage.
And based on film study, they thought that there was a chance to spring him more than once for some pretty good yardage in this game.
He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of. You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that falls incomplete.
Here's Watson now on second down. Touchdown, Browns! Donovan Peoples-Jones, 27 yards. And the Browns put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Throw out wide is incomplete. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Hopkins' kick is good, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And when you watch Kenny Pickett play, you see a young man who got better every season in college and really blossomed in his final campaign. Took his game to a new level and made him a first-round pick in the NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you with his mind, beat you with his arm, and occasionally with his legs. A tough, skilled performer. Kenny Pickett, he's got some moxie to him.
1st and 10, here's Pickett. Complete, it's Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 39-yard line.
Now a 2nd and 2. Pickett will look to throw it here. Again, it's Johnson. And Johnson going to have a Steelers first down as he'll get this up to the 45-yard line. The Pickett finding Johnson there. First down, Steelers. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a 2nd consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot.
Pickett lost it, and this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw is Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Watson going to get this into the hands of Chubb. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him.
Touchdown! Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper, and the Browns are able to extend their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point good by Hopkins, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Now the third-year man, Najee Harris. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Credit Zadarius Smith, able to get through and make that tackle for a loss.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. A solid stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. Able to avoid him at the 40. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. Oftentimes, broken tackles are his specialties. Put another one on his tally there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One-on-one, not likely to get him down. You need everyone else to get there and help you. I think they were signaling for you and I to jump on the pile and try and get him down, weren't they?
You don't want me out there, I promise you. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw pulled in by Robinson here. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Pickett now on first down. Looking for Pickens. He's got him on the out route. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Pickett going to bootleg it. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Najee Harris who finished it off with a touchdown run. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From his end zone, here comes Jerome Ford. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Watson now to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
They go up the middle with Chubb, and just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run. Let's go.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's the 2nd and 9. From the 50, it's Watson. Escaping the... And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
A give running right is Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. 23 yards for Nick Chubb as his guys are able to extend their lead. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. That time a 9-play drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Here's Pickett. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off play action, Pickett. That is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Pickett. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They run again with Harris. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. After 1, 17-7 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Quick completion here to Johnson. We have an injured player out there, and oh boy, that's the quarterback, Kenny Pickett, who's in some pain after that one. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. First throw now for the backup, Trubisky. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he will have a Steelers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry. And they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
This 2nd and 4. Here's Trubisky to throw. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes The quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man, sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees, because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
2nd and 1.
Now Chubb running right and to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Chubb producing on that run, and he produces year after year for the Browns. 3rd in the league with over 1,500 yards in 2022. He quietly is in the top 20 all-time in both yards and touchdowns in a player's first 5 seasons.
They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41.
Holding, offense.
That's on the guard, Wyatt Teller.
Still 1st down.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Watson. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Back to throw, Watson. And he'll go right back to Moore, complete again. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Dancing to his left. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On 4th down, Corey Bojorquez gets set to punt for Cleveland. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Taking it about the 16. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting 1st downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run again with Harris. Oh, good move. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st. Perfect execution on that inside handoff, and then a little will, a little brute strength to move forward after the contact.
What do we call that now in today's NFL? Heck, in today's football? Contact balance, right? That's the buzzword, the phrase you hear. A back who can absorb contact, bounce off of it, and keep moving. Just what you said, brute strength, force of will.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. Crossing route catch made by Johnson.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Options galore here. Second and a few inches. Now Trubisky. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Mitchell Trubisky, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers are back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Second down, here's Chubb again. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
He's got exactly what you're looking for, the ability to not just diagnose a play and quickly, but to make a play as well. Nice job there tackling him for a loss.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. Shifts by him. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 111 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 5. They go play action. Trubisky. Complete to Washington. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Mitchell Trubisky with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will make this a 4-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down.
34-yard line.
Here's Watson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Now Austin. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Pittsburgh Steelers and running back Najee Harris. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark him down at the 39.
I know retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay,
I
good.
just need some chocolate and a box of tissues. 129 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And down to the 36-yard line here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
2nd down and 3. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And the Steelers on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Play action. It's Trubisky. He's got this to Pickens. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Trubisky to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now it's Trubisky. Setting up the screen, Harris. And in for the Steelers touchdown. Najee Harris. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Steelers are able to widen their advantage. That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense too.
That's a great point because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Steelers 28, Browns 17.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And the Browns getting set to go. The Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On first down, Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Watson's throw complete there to Moore. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
Now a 2nd and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. That's complete to Peoples-Jones. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Wide open receiver complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards that time.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 4. That time a 6-play drive. And Nick Chubb the one to finish it off as he does so with a touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. It's a foot race. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Steelers. It's been a back-and-forth game. A lot of points on the board. And that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Yeah, you've seen both teams go at it. And as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
Extra point now by Boswell. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He found the end zone twice, once on the ground and once in the passing game, as he proved he's anything but a one-dimensional running back.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to get going to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've got their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They hand this off to Harris. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 from the 44. Trubisky will throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Harris. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 31-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Trubisky. His throw incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Here's 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
So Pickett is off to the sideline, and Chris Boswell is on for the Steeler field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get. Keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. On the return, here's Jerome Ford. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll start things off with a handoff to Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
If these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They run it again with Chubb. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw, Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Looks like another empty possession offensively, and you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing here, Trubisky. A short one there to Freiermuth. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Now a give, running left is Harris. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They go play action with Trubisky. He'll buy some time right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find the target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and he'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
2nd and 10. They'll run with Harris. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Play action. Now Trubisky. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The Browns set to take over. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd down and 4. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Watson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
How about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Harris starts the drive on the ground. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Now 2nd and 9. Now Trubisky. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. It was Myles Garrett that time who got in there and brought him down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Won't be easy here after that sack. Now you got Trubisky and the Steelers facing a 3rd and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. To throw is Watson. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Austin. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you can tend to play the field position game.
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The Trubisky and the Steelers going to come up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Harris will start the drive out, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 152 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is Harris. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Throw left side, taken in. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking at it from the defense's perspective, they could have really used the football to try to start eating into this deficit.
Yeah, because now possession's so crucial at this stage of the game, and when you've got an opportunity to hop on a turnover and you don't get it, you can feel the frustration all the way up here.
And the offense, they're living right now. Another bounce and break that goes their way. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. This is Harris, and he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the third quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now it's Trubisky. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. Third quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Harris. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Open man, that's the tight end Freiermuth. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
We all know that teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down. 2nd and 9. And again, it's Chubb fighting him off. And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 38. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a third and just a few inches.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play. Whether that's a little grabbing, a little hand fighting, by any means necessary on third down, he was able to get the job done in the secondary and swat that one away.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. That is caught. Cooper fast with the feet, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he'll find Akins there, complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Browns on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 7. Now Watson. And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it, but was not in bounds, incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
A 37-yard attempt.
Hopkins' kick is good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Pickett leads his Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with Harris. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action, but other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. And that went to the right side and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Going to run the toss here to Harris. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
The Steelers send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. This is brought in at the 21. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. The Browns set and ready to go on offense. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's Watson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Injuries cost Watts 7 games last year, yet he still had 5.5 sacks, made his 5th Pro Bowl, and remains on a Hall of Fame pace. 77.5 career sacks, the 3rd most ever in a player's first 6 seasons.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. Taken from just outside the 30. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on a 6-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
No, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. Pickett back to throw. Johnson's got it complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They run the play fake. Here's Pickett. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Now Pickett. He gets it complete to Harris. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Pickett going to bootleg it. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Steelers have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up 1st downs, and if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, They were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Watson's throw into the hands of Peoples-Jones. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Drops it off for Chubb. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Watson. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down. With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Here's Watson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. To throw is Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. Well, it's a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Watson looks to throw again. His pass caught at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. A shotgun snap for Watson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This goes to the goal line. You got to be very careful when the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
This likely a must-have, 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Deshaun Watson finding Amari Cooper. And the Browns have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. And the Steelers set to take the field. If they can score here, they have a chance to make this a 3-possession game and all but put things to bed. Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their own 22. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Looking for Pickett, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and this is picked up by the Browns. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line.
Partner, that would look like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. And time to see what this offense has left in the tank. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And the Steelers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early. And sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Pickett. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Back to throw, Pickett. And his throw here's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw, Pickett. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Harris going to get it again on second down. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. That is caught. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 29-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go.
Get him going, baby. That's what it is.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on third down. Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Steeler first down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it.
Now, all through this one, they've had nothing but success throwing the football and in the passing game. Here we are in the fourth quarter. A time you'd think they'd be running the football. They're still tossing it around and having great success. And it appears a whole lot of fun as well.
Pickett down to a knee, and that is going to do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.